I got an email, which I'll bring up later, at 4:35 yesterday afternoon, threatening me with action if I submit this document.
If you what?
If I discuss this document.
In this here today?
Yes.
You're under parliamentary privilege, sir.
That's potentially contempt of the Senate.
I can prove that.
Do you wish to table that document?
I will. Yes, I will. I've got that letter.
Chair, he wishes to table that.
Have you sent? Did they send you an email telling you that?
Yes, I've got it here.
Okay, if you could table that, that'd be appreciated.
Yeah.
I think it would be good if we could take Mr Butler through his rights as a witness here, again, so he knows what his position is. And could I also propose that we write to Taylor Woodings as a matter of urgency, see if we can get them to appear this week during these hearings.
First, I deny that I or anybody else did anything to try and prevent Mr Butler giving evidence to the committee. The committee would have seen my email of the 7th of August. In that email, I did not in any way suggest that Mr Butler did not give evidence before the committee. We dealt with Mr Butler's many queries, which he requested answers to. Mr Butler was not ignored. My office or my solicitor's office tried to respond to the many issues raised by Mr Butler. This was very time-consuming. Finally, the receivers and managers deny the several allegations that Mr Butler has made to this committee. They are dealt with in our submissions.
On what basis do you understand that you've been appointed as a receiver for under one of these secured properties, over one of these secured properties? How do you know that you've been appointed?
Oh, the bank would provide us with would speak to us, provide us with documents in relation to the appointment document, which we'd review an indemnity.
So that'd be a court document?
No, a document prepared by themselves.
Okay.
So they don't. Sorry, it's not a court.
Okay,
process.
So that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yes.
So, on the basis the bank just says to you they've decided to prepare the documents, which then effectively create a receivership over the companies involved.
Correct.
And then on the basis of that, you then have legal entitlement to go in and do what you do?
Yes, whatever is allowed for under their security documents, and obviously pursuant to the Corporations Act as well. Various avenues, the FOSS process.
That only applies to up to a certain monetary limit, though, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. The ASIC. Discussions with ourselves to try and resolve the issues. Yes, maybe, as we saw within the case we'll talk about later, to actually contact the bank directly. There is, well, there's also the Insolvency Practitioners Association. But that's more of, it doesn't have a process for disputes. The code of professional practice that we have to abide by, and also being chartered accountants, we're sort of bound by codes there as well. So it's kind of the main way of it regulates ourselves.
You've provided a whole range of documents. I'm not going to go into anything that should be in camera here. about 43 documents, 43 documents. Is there any other documents that we should have? Because it looks to me as if you've gone into more detail than most other witnesses in providing documents. Is there any other documents related to these three receiverships that you haven't provided?
There are basically documents which are a repeat of what's in here.
So this pack, I don't know, 40 mil thick, is all the relevant documents in relation to those three receiverships?
In relation to Mr. Butler's submission?
Yeah, so you did a document search and we've got everything, have we?
Except for where Mr. Butler, where we have documents which refer to a repeat of the same issues.
Did you get any legal advice on your position on these receiverships?
Yes.
Is the legal advice included in these documents?
No.
Is the legal advice available to the committee?
It's be subject to legal privilege.
Yeah, I know they're subject to legal privilege, but is there any reason why you've given us all these documents but none of the legal advice that you've got? Is there something in the legal advice that's a problem to provide the committee?
There's nothing within them that would be a problem.
Well, can I ask you to provide the legal advice documents to the committee?
Could I ask take that on notice?
Of course.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
I'm simply asking, you've gone in a lot of trouble to provide all these documents, and it's not the complete picture without the legal advice. And if there's something that is commercially in confidence for the company or legally confidential, then I understand the position, but you should tell us that. Okay? On general issues, the cost of doing a receivership. Was this a more expensive receivership in terms of your company's involvement? Did it cost you more to do this receivership than normal?
That'd be something I'd like to discuss as an in-camera issue.
Do you think that's an in-camera issue? Well, let's go into camera.
And the receiver was paid in full. There was $1 million left over. But the bank would not give the $1 million back to the bloke who owned the pubs because that bloke was actually suing Bankwest. The bank said they're going to keep the $1 million to pay their legal fees up against him who was suing them.